And we're live. Hey everyone, welcome to Fishing Planet. Today we're at White Moose Lake in Alberta, Canada. We're gonna be targeting mostly lake trout because today it's a snowy day. Tomorrow, on a sunny day, pike fishing gets good, so I'll probably be targeting some pike after I fill up my keep net. But yeah, this is my float fishing setup. And then this is what I'm going to be using for lake trout. Alright, so start off here. It's Fisherman's Hut? I don't remember what it's called. I'm going to use our Fenix 12-foot 10-inch pole. Put that in our rod stand. While we'll use our Salmon Stir 8-foot 2. Now I got this from the anniversary pack, which I highly recommend that pack. It's one of the cheaper ones, and it just really gets you started throughout the game. Now usually what I like to do on a cloudy day like this is I'll use the Red Tiger medium spoon with a stop and go retrieve about the middle of the water with the reel speed on 3. This is what I've had the most success with. And sometimes on a clear day, if you can see where that buoy is out by my float, fighting this fish actually, but I'll bring my kayak out there with the Lemon Tiger spoon, retrieve speed 2, cast it out to an, I don't know if you can see it on the stream, but past that point there's a buoy. Cast it out there, let it sink to the bottom, catch some unique. I've always had good success with that. But here we've got a 12-pound lake trout. Nice. Let it sink about midway. Just start that stop and go. Now this has worked for me, but if you know any other methods, please be free to let me know in the comment section. There's a bite there. Now if you're not getting any bites, try switching up like where you're casting. I usually have the range from about here to here is where I catch the most lake trout. But if you know another spot, do what works. Oop, looks like I got a fish on this pole. Not a monster, but something. Now I believe this is 16-pound test on this rod with the 98-inch leader, so it's down there pretty far. Oh, man, this actually is a decent sized fish. The reason my drag is so loose is because this is lighter line, and so if I have the drag too tight, this is meant for up to 40-pound test, this reel. And so if the drag is too tight, it will snap this line. So it makes the fights a little bit longer, but you know, it's worth it. This thing is not budging. Oh, there it goes. Here we go. A little bit closer. It's fighting like a lake trout. It could be an Atlantic salmon, but it's fighting like a lake trout. Oh, a trophy Atlantic salmon. Wow, almost 20 pounds. 35 inches and $862 for that one. Quite a good amount of XP as well. Hoping to get level 30 today, so just fish like this get me closer. Alright, I am going to cast that out there. That back in my rod stand. See if we can get another fish. Nothing on that cast. Now the reason I'm hoping to get level 30 today is I've been wanting to get a boat. I have a kayak, but I've been wanting to get a boat. And level 30 is when you can buy the first boat. Without a DLC, of course. You can buy them sooner, around level 20 if you have bait coins, but I do not have nearly enough bait coins for that. So, taking the long road. Also level 30 is when you can unlock Michigan, which I've heard once I've unlocked Michigan that I can, you know, make money quicker and XP quicker going after muskie and pike. So hopefully that'll get me there sooner. I believe it's level 44 that I can unlock the boat that I really want, which don't remember the exact name of it, but it comes in the Daredevil motorboat pack. It's just one of the motorboats, but it's the inflatable style, like a Zodiac kind of. And oh, there's a fish. That one unlocks at level 44 in game. So that is the next target. Just a little fish. 10-pound lake trout. I'll take it. Nothing special, but I'll take it. Now if you notice, there are fish jumping out there, and a lot of them are pretty far out, so you can't always cast where they're jumping, but if you can, that's a great way to find the fish if you don't have a boat with a fish finder. Ooh, that's a nice fish. Hit hard. It's fighting pretty hard, but I don't know. Say maybe a 15-pounder. Maybe 12. Huh, yep. 12 pounds. Now, I'm not getting a ton of XP for these smaller trout because this is 40-pound tests on this line. Because I have pulled uniques out of here up to 49 pounds was my record. And I've seen guys catch them up to around 53 pounds. So, you know, better safe than sorry. Here in a minute, I'll show you some of the spots that I've caught different species at with these marker buoys. Oop, there we go. It's fighting a little bit like a salmon. It hit it hard. Now it's running towards me, but it could be a lake trout. It looks kind of like a lake trout. As a matter of fact, it is. Okay, so let me pull out my map here. So, here we have, you know, just the dock. This is where I'm fishing at now. So right here is where those big lake trout are hiding, in this deep section of water. So, for lake trout, I'll paddle the kayak out to here, and then the rock face is right here. So, I'll cast to this mark. This is where I caught that unique lake trout, 49 pounds. And I caught this one on the lemon tiger spoon on a cloudy day. So the lemon tiger is a great spoon. You can use it in any weather, but I've had a lot of success using the red tiger on cloudy days. But, so this is my favorite lake trout area, this spot through here. Now, over here is where I've caught salmon. This is basically directly across the lake. Over here there's a log, and I use crankbaits or float fishing, some shiners on a size 4 hook. And I'll cast over into here, and I've pulled lake trout out of there, but usually you'll catch some salmon. So if you're going after pike, or I've even pulled lake whitefish out of here. I've caught trophy salmon here, and lake trout, sometimes perch. But you bring your kayak over here, right up against, this is the shore, and then there are 2 large boulders right here, and then the lake kind of forks to here. Now with about 45-inch leader, with size 4 hook, shiners, on a sunny day usually works best for the pike. It's when they're the most active, and you cast from here out to these boulders right here and just let it drift through here, and you'll catch a lot of trophy pike that way. Anyways, back to the fishing. Now that has moved a long ways. I'm kind of thinking when I was in the map, fish took it and spat it out. So I am going to recast that, let that sink down. Well, I recast this one. Now sometimes as you're reeling in your bait around the docks, you'll pull out some burbot or brook trout. Cast back out towards that marker buoy. Switch out to our lake trout gear. Another fish. This is a pretty small fish, but I'll still take it. Just a little 7-pounder. Now, just a quick recap. Oh, whoa, hang on. There's another fish. I've caught 165 pounds of fish in this fishing planet day. Now, I was fishing for a little bit before we were streaming, so I think I've caught about maybe 90 pounds of the fish, so we've caught about 60, 75 pounds of fish during this stream, which we've been streaming, let's see, I don't know how long we've been streaming, but it couldn't be that long. So this is a really good place to farm XP and money. I'll show you here in a minute how much we've made. It's another decent sized fish. What is this? It looks like a salmon. Another trophy Atlantic salmon. So it looks like that's a good spot for the salmon. You know, just do your max depth of leader. I'm using the X series barbless hook, 4/0, and then shiners, and cast over. If you don't have a marker buoy, there's 2 tall trees, and then 2, they're kind of dead trees. Cast right out towards there, and there's some big salmon hanging out in there. Alright. So, 14 fish in this fishing planet day will give us about $8,000. Caught mostly lake trout. There's a couple Atlantic salmon and a burbot as well. But let's get back to fishing here. Now I'm gonna try the lemon tiger spoon. Cast it out, let it sink to the bottom. The most success I've had with this technique is on sunny days. But let's see how we can do today. Again, just a stop and go with a reel speed 2. There's fish splashing around by our bobber. And already. First cast with this lemon tiger, and we got ourselves a decent fish. It might be a splake, or just a small lake trout. That looks like a lake trout. Yep, 11 pounds. Gave us about $500, so not bad. Now it's pretty expensive to travel here. I believe a license is $4,000 for every 24 hours. and I believe it's $7,500 to travel here. But you can pretty quickly pay off your trip without filling your keep net if you have a decent sized keep net. And to extend your stay another day, it is $1,000. But again, that's two lake trout. Once you get about 30 feet in, there's not much of a point keeping the stop and go. You can really just reel it in because there's not a ton. There are some, but there's not a ton of big fish out here. It's really out there that it matters. Now, if you have bottom rods, I've heard that night fishing with shrimp is a great way to catch unique and trophy lake trout with a rod stand. So if you're high enough level to have bottom gear, that is definitely a way to go. Alright, I'm gonna take one more cast with this lemon tiger, and then I'll probably switch it up to a red tiger. Also gonna recast that float fishing setup. It's drifting a little bit far. I know there's fish over there, but it gets a little bit more shallow, and it's probably gonna get hung up on the bottom. Alright, let's recast this. And real quick, I'm also gonna switch something up. This is on a PS4, by the way, if you were wondering. Okay, switch this up. Alrighty. So this boat right here, the rental boat, that is the boat that you can buy at level 30. It's the same model of boat, I believe, but it has a sonar. Level 34, you unlock this boat, but I believe it's white, and it has a 10 horsepower motor instead of a 5. I think this is like maybe a 3 horsepower motor on the rental. I don't know. But it could be a 5. But let's set up our, this is my kayak, by the way. Let's set up our rod holder. It's just the basic slingshot rod holder. gets the job done. After this trip, I will most likely buy a new rod holder. I keep meaning to, but I keep forgetting. Okay. This is the Rivertex Salmon Stir 8.2. This is one of the rods that you get in the anniversary pack. It also comes with 40,000 credits, bait coins, and comes with these bullet spinners, and then several crankbaits. It's definitely worth it in my opinion. Okay, I'm gonna start our stop and go retrieve. There is a snag out there about 145 feet. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a large boulder or, you know, a log or something. But a lot of times you will get stuck and you'll pull shells off of it. So, I don't know if it's a boulder with a lot of freshwater clams on it or what, but there's also one out around there. So if you're using deep diving crankbaits or just like retrieving on the bottom, sometimes your lure will get stuck. And you don't want to pull too hard to get your lure unstuck, because sometimes it'll go into those trees and get stuck and you'll have to restart your game. So happened during the Triple the Trout tournament a couple days ago, which I got first place because it saved my progress when I restarted my game. So that was nice. So I still managed to get first place. But I believe there's another Triple the Trout tournament tonight or tomorrow, I don't know. Those are a great way to earn XP and money because you catch more trophies and uniques during the tournament because the fishing mechanics change, so that way it's more of a competition. And so even if you don't get top 10 or anything, and you're fishing in the right spots, you'll still catch lots of fish and gain lots of XP and money. So even if you don't win money from the tournament, you'll get money just by fishing it due to how many trophies or uniques you'll catch. That Triple the Trout tournament was my first tournament, and I like that one. There's also the big redfish one. I think that's what it's called. For salmon, where you can only use... Oop, that's a fish. Hit like a salmon, but it could be a lake trout. What is that? Can't tell. Oh, it is a salmon. A lot of times you can tell if it's a salmon or a lake trout by the way it hits. The salmon will hit it super hard, your lure, and then they'll run towards you, or basically they'll just try to get your line loose. And that is a fish. That's a nice one. Let's see. Ah, did he pull me into the bottom? Nope. Sometimes when your rod's in a rod stand, if you can't get it out of the holder right away, the fish will run you down to the bottom and get your line snagged. Which I thought that's what happened here, but he's still there. It's a good sized fish. see, he is definitely pulling line out. If I tighten my drag though, it would snap. That looks like a trophy salmon. I don't know, this might be just enough to get me to level 29. And this is a nice fish. Come on, fishy. Alrighty, let's see. Oh, this wasn't a trophy, but still, a nice Atlantic salmon. 10 pounds, 185 XP gained for this. It wasn't quite enough to get me level 29, but got me close. Oh, I gotta recast that. Sometimes on the retrieve you'll hook a fish, which... Oh, was that something? Usually it's a burbot if on the retrieve, but sometimes can be other fish. Okay. Cast it out there and let it drift. This is the one that snagged. There we go. Again. Huh. Now, sometimes casting out in this area, or if you're out on a boat in that area, you'll hook some trophy splake, which those are good for XP and money. They fight pretty well, but if you have heavy gear, like Chinook salmon gear, then it's not that bad of a fight, and you'll be able to get them in pretty easily and still get good XP and money from it. Now, just thought I'd mention, so these lures unlock at level 24, I think. Okay, no, 22. So, wait. You can get the same lure, but not as strong. These work, but what works the best is these. They're the 1.5 ounce medium spoons with a 4/0 hook. These will sink to the bottom of the lake pretty quickly, and the hook is big enough for uniques. They work really well. So, where is it? The 30-foot crankbait. This one. This also works for salmon and lake trout. It's pretty pricey though, so if you have the bait coins for it, you can get that. There's another 30-foot one in the smoky color, but I prefer the blue. But if you're not high enough level to unlock these, I've had success with the first trout I ever caught on this lake. was with this bullet spinners, either this one or the trout one. Silver and blue are the trout. These come with the anniversary pack, and they will catch trout. Looks like there's some activity out by that bobber. See if we can pull out another trophy or two. Now I've never caught a unique from shore. I've always caught them out on a kayak. But to get the ooh, that's a fish. To get uniques, it's best, so this rock point over here, it's best if you can cast out past that, and you can't do that from shore. So with a boat or a kayak, that's where those big fish are. That's what always worked for me. Okay. 53 XP. Not a ton, but anything works. Start a retrieve. Oh, snagged again. There we go. I gotta be careful, there's another one around 75 feet out, so see if I can get this a little shallower. There, I think we got past it. Usually I'd be fishing out in the kayak, but I'm just trying to get level 30 as fast as possible, so I'm going to be using the rod stand as well. And I know in the Fisherman they have it, Fishing Planet's a new game, but they do not have rod holders in the free-to-play version yet. So, this is about the only way to fish multiple rods at a time. Now you can troll in this game with a boat without a rod holder. Some of the bass boats have trolling motors, but even if you're just renting a boat or just have, one of the cheaper boats, if you are going the motor 1 or 2% power and then switch to fishing mode, cast maybe 75 feet behind you, you can troll, and it works. You can still steer your boat if you're using like a deep diver crankbait or any heavier lure, because the weight from your lure, if you lift up your pole like that, will turn the boat. So you do have control over your boat. So if you're fishing a new lake and you don't know much about it, trolling is a good way to find where those fish are at. Looks like we have another person joining. Welcome to the stream. See if we can get another fish. Oop, that was a hit. I might recast this float here in a second. Yeah, I think I'm gonna recast that. It's drifting pretty far away. So let that sink to the bottom while I move this. Cast it out by that buoy. And let it do its thing. So, a way to tell if you can't see your float very well on a foggy day like this, just keep your rod tip in view, and if that, or just even your line, if the line starts moving, even if you can't see if the float went under or not, you can tell if there's a fish. Another way is in your settings, you can turn on, I'll show you here in a second, but you can turn on where it gives a noise if a fish is biting your float. Now I believe that only works if it's in your hands, but still, it's a good feature. Similar to the bell for bottom or feeder fishing. I might fast forward to peak time here in a second. Let's go with audio, so float fishing bite sound. You turn that on and it gives a little bell noise when when a fish is biting your float. So I'm gonna fast forward to peak time real quick because I haven't had a bite in a while. Let's go 5 o'clock. Some of that haze burned off, so it's gonna be pretty easy to see our float now. Put that in our rod stand. Let's get our river tex. Cast that out there. Now when I caught that almost 50-pound unique, it was in about the exact same conditions as this. So, I don't know, maybe we'll catch another big one. But usually, you have to be able to cast around that corner. But you never know, I've seen people catch uniques from the shore. So I'm gonna fish this spot for either 4 more in-game hours or until my keep net is full, and then I'm going to switch to the next morning, which is supposed to be sunny, and that's when we can go for those big pike, and those will give you, oh, there's a fish, give you good XP and money if you get the trophies. Oh boy. Now those salmon, they'll run towards you and take all the tension out of your line, and you'll lose them that way. Same with the rainbow, brown, and cutthroat trout on Falcon Lake, Oregon. That's one of the best places you can fish before you unlock Alberta. But those fish, they put up a good fight. Okay. This is definitely a big fish. I'm guessing this is a trophy salmon. But we'll see. It could be a lake trout. It's not fighting like a lake trout. It's definitely fighting like a salmon, but I don't know. Hopefully it's another one of those trophy salmon. Yeah, it looks like it. Nope. Actually just a standard salmon. Still good XP though. I apologize if there's a little bit of delay. I don't know if there is or not. But bear with me. Ooh, that's another fish. Man, switching to peak time is really paying off. Now for the new viewers, 4-aught hook with 98 inches of leader, with some shiners. It's a great way to catch basically all fish on here. Pike, salmon, etc. So 7-pounder, almost an 8. Not huge, but still gives you good XP. Salmon are one of the best fish for XP on this lake. Oh, that's the wrong rod. Let's get the river tex. This is my ultralight setup. If I hooked a lake trout on that setup, I think that's 4-pound test, so that wouldn't be too great. Brook trout, however, I know you can paddle a boat or a kayak over there, get out and hike to a good brook trout site, but I haven't tried it yet. Oof. That's a decent fish. Sometimes you'll hook a fish on one rod and on the other rod at the same time. So sometimes you can get them both, but you kind of gotta choose which fish that you're gonna fight. Usually I'll go with the rod that's in my hand because the float fishing, sometimes the fish will hold on to that float, that bait long enough to, once you get that fish in, to quickly grab the other pole and fight it. But sometimes you lose the other fish. I've got this keep net about halfway full, another 200 pounds of fish, which, maybe 20 more fish if we get a good mixture of decent sized fish. Hopefully we'll get that full. Ooh, looks like we got another fish. Nothing too huge, but probably, 8-10 pound salmon. Could be a 12, but it's not fighting like a 12. I can see it down there in the water. Pulling a little bit of line, maybe a 7-pounder. 7.5 pounds. Let's see how much cash we've made. 22 fish and $11,600. Thing I've learned about this game is that once you get to this level, to earn cash by catching fish really isn't the hard part. It's really leveling up that is the difficult part. Unless you can afford multiple DLCs to get boats. If you want to get a boat, there's a lot of grinding to do in this game. They do have a couple. I thought they used to have a bass boat DLC. I don't see it in the store anymore, but I know they have the Metalhead motorboat pack and the Daredevil motorboat pack. The Daredevil motorboat pack is about $35 US. It's a nice pack. It's the one that I want, but it's pretty pricey. Now you can earn all the items that come with it in game, but it's extremely expensive. It also comes with premium, $40,000. Comes with bait coins, several deep divers, obviously a boat with, I think it's a 30 horsepower motor, and it's either an advanced or a pro sonar. It comes with a rod, a reel. It's just an all-around great pack. Personally, I can't afford it right now, but if I can't get that boat in the game, probably work towards it. That DLC. But the 7 days of premium that comes with it is definitely nice. For those of you who haven't played this game, premium allows ooh, that's a fish. Allows you to gain almost double the amount of XP and cash that you get for every fish that you catch. I believe this pack also comes with pond passes too, which allow you, even if you're not the correct level, to go to places and fish them early. Or it also gives you the licenses too. But for those of you who don't know what this game is, Fishing Planet is a free-to-play game. It's a PSN game if you're on the PlayStation. It's now for Xbox recently. And for PC. And there we go, guys. Another trophy Atlantic salmon. 13.2 pounds. 32 inches. $602. 258 XP gained. That's a nice fish, guys. But it's available for PC, PS4, and Xbox. It's free to play. There's, I think, around 30 DLCs, which is downloadable content, available for this game. There is one free DLC that I know of. It comes with a feeder rod, and just some of the basic gear, I believe. Oop, there's another fish. I know for sure that it comes with a feeder rod. I can't quite remember what else it comes with, but definitely if you're starting out the game, you want to get that pack. I think it also comes with a bigger keep net. But it's a fun game. It's relaxing. It does take a lot of time invested if you can't afford the DLCs. There's a lot of grinding in the game, so if you're trying to find a game that's relaxing to play and you have a lot of time to play it, Fishing Planet, it's really a fun game. It's very realistic for fishing games. I haven't played Fishing Sim World. I've heard that's another good game. But you do need PlayStation Plus or Xbox Gold, I want to say it is. I think that's the Xbox equivalent, PlayStation Plus, if you want to play online. It's an always online game. So you have to have a constant internet connection. But you can play online with your friends without PlayStation Plus or Xbox Gold subscription. Now, for playing with your friends, you can go into a friends-only server and you can fish with them. The boats, however, so far, I don't know how this is in the Fisherman, that new fishing game, but there's only one seat available in, that is a nice fish, holy cow, but for the boats. So you cannot take your friends out on the lake in your boat. They also have to have a boat if they want to get to certain spots. But you could still fish with them. The Fisherman, however, might have that feature since they added rod holders. I'm not sure. But I do know that the Fisherman has a single player and multiplayer mode available. This is a big fish. I think this is going to get us level 29 if we land this. It's fighting like a lake trout. It could be a large Atlantic salmon, a trophy or something. I don't think they get unique. I'll double check on that. But I'm not sure. Also going to have to buy some shiners here in a second. If you're enjoying this stream, please drop a like or subscribe if you would like. If there's anything that I could improve on, please tell me in the comments. This is a new channel. I think this is my second stream on YouTube. First one with commentary. So I am, if you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments. This sounds super cheesy, you hear it from every YouTuber, but dropping a like truly helps. It allows other people to see my stream, and if you have friends that also want to learn more about this game or just like watching this gameplay, please share it, because, you know, it helps me out a ton, and helps me to get better content out for you guys. Man, this is a nice fish. Sorry, that was my phone notification. Man, this is a big fish. I think this must be a lake trout. It's probably like a maybe a 10-pound lake trout. Nothing big, but this is definitely not my lake trout setup. I've hooked a lake trout on a setup that wasn't for lake trout before. I've hooked them on a bass setup when I was fishing for the small Atlantic salmon over by that log across the lake. And man, it was like trying to fight a freight train. They get onto that, well, more like a submarine since this is water, but if you hook into one of those lake trout and you're not properly equipped, you're in for a big fight. Wow, this is insane. I gotta land this fish. It'd be very disappointing if this broke the line. Alright. Looks like he's headed somewhat this way. Man, that's a nice fish. I don't know, drop a comment what fish you think this is. I've been fighting this for probably maybe 6 minutes. I can see something down there in the water, just barely. Definitely not a pike. Sometimes you'll catch pike over here, it's very rare, but this is way bigger than a pike. I'm guessing this is a lake trout. But I don't know. There it is, guys. Drop your comment what you think that is. Looks like a lake trout. That is huge. That's definitely a lake trout. Unique lake trout on a float fishing setup. 16-pound test. And we landed a 37-pound lake trout. Ladies and gentlemen, that's crazy. That's a big fish. I am amazed that that did not break the line. That is a nice fish. Alright, well, 652 XP for landing that on 16-pound tests with the Phoenix float fishing rod. $1,700. Wow, that's pretty impressive, guys, I gotta say. Wow. Well, that got us level 29. Looks like we unlocked some crayfish. So now, all we really need to do... There's a glow-in-the-dark crankbait? I never knew that was a thing. Awesome. Grizzly vest, glow-in-the-dark crankbait. Interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Is that for pike or salmon? I don't know what that's for. There's a grizzly vest. Another 8-foot crankbait. That's an interesting pattern. Huh. Cool. Well, that was definitely the biggest fish of the day. Puts us 25 fish, 14,265 XP. So, now I don't know, is there a way to show how much XP that you need to get the next level? Is there a way to see that? Let me know in the comments. I am going to be right back. Just gonna reel this in real quick. And then I'm gonna be right back, maybe 5 minutes, so please hang tight. Again, this is the setup. Double check what that line was. Yeah, 16-pound test to land that unique lake trout. Wow. That was That was crazy. But yes, I'm gonna be right back, so please hang tight and see you in a few minutes. And I am back. Thank you for bearing with me there. So, looks like we are almost to the very peak time. With our float fishing setup. Cast out again to that buoy. See if we can land some monsters. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get level 30 today. I am definitely gonna shoot for it, but you know, we'll see. Just at least we got level 29. We're only one level away from getting that. Now, I've tried, I know doing missions give you a lot of XP, and I've done the, I think it's called the Trout Master or something like that. We have to catch a trout a certain weight in different places. Now, I've caught all the other trout in that mission. I just need to catch a 1.6 pound golden trout in Colorado. Now, it doesn't sound that hard, but believe me, it is difficult. The lake trout, catching a 33 pound plus, I think it was, lake trout was much easier than catching this golden trout. because the golden trout, they don't get very big, and the big ones, they kind of stay hidden. And so usually you'll catch, going for those golden trout, you'll catch a young rainbow trout or a young cutthroat. But those golden trout, they're kind of hard to catch, gotta say. And that mission gives you around 5,000 XP, which is a lot. It definitely get me a lot closer to level 30, if not even to level 30. But I have gone back multiple times with different lures. After I won the Triple the Trout tournament, I used that X series lure, and because I know those work good for them. But still, I cannot manage to get a 1.6 pound lake trout or golden trout, so I don't know. So I'm just gonna stick with grinding over here in Alberta. I believe you unlock Alberta at level 18, possibly 22, but I believe it's level 18. And before this, you unlock Falcon Lake, Oregon. And going there and fishing it's a great way to grind. And then as soon as you unlock this, make sure you have a large keep net and some heavy duty gear. And then you can grind here until you unlock Michigan. And that's a fish on the float rod. But Michigan is what I get next. Come on. Where is this thing? It looked like I had a fish, but I don't know what happened. I was too late. I didn't notice it until too late. Let's recast it. Oh well. And sometimes that happens. Fishing Planet, the system that they have for switching out to a different rod, it's a little slow, to be honest. So, you know, maybe they'll update that in the future, but we'll see. It works, but you know, sometimes if you get a big fish and you need to quickly switch to it, sometimes it's gone. Usually though, it works fine. But you know, like that's a little fish. But usually it works, but sometimes, you know, like what just happened. Is that a burbot caught on a spoon? Oh no, it looks like a brook trout. Now brook trout, sometimes you'll catch these. They're very tiny, and so if you're using 40-pound tests like I am, you're definitely not gonna get much XP for them. But you know, anything counts when you're grinding, so. And if you're going for money, if you have a large keep net, unless it's an illegal fish, like I know in Europe there's the beluga, you get, like, if you keep it, you get like a $25,000 fine or something. So unless it's an illegal fish, just keep everything you catch. If your keep net's big enough, you'll get the money for it, even if you don't get a lot of XP. Now I'm pretty sure you still get XP for oop, that's a fish. I'm pretty sure you still get XP even if you don't keep the fish, but you don't get the money, I believe. So like if you're going for money, just keep everything you catch. If you're going for XP and you don't have a big keep net, you know, then if you're just going for XP, you don't have to keep it. But you know, if you're going for the money while grinding, literally everything you catch, if your keep net's big enough, just keep it. Like here, only $360, not a ton, but you know, for 7-pound fish, it's pretty good. Looks like it's getting pretty close to nighttime here. Once it gets nighttime, I'm going to ford the time and then go after pike. Is there any like tutorial requests that you have for this game? Anything below level 30. If you guys want a tutorial, I will try to create one for you guys. I'll probably do a Falcon Lake trout tutorial here later, but not today, but you know, sometime in the future. I'll probably do one of those if you guys would like. But if there's a certain tutorial that you guys want, just put it in the comment section and I'll do my best. Now, I'm sorry if the stream's not super high quality. It doesn't have any widgets or anything yet. I do have Streamlabs on my computer, but my computer is not strong enough to run both SharePlay for not SharePlay, what's it called? Not second screen. I don't remember what it's called, but where you can basically you can connect to your PS4 from your PC and then stream from that. So my computer's not strong enough to run Streamlabs and that application. So that's why I say literally any subscribe if you feel like I've earned a subscribe or a like. It helps because then other people see it, and as my channel grows, I can start to make a little bit of cash off of it, and then you know, I can get DLCs to make good content for you guys and a stronger PC to make the stream more enjoyable. See, pull out another big trout. I'm still kind of amazed that we landed that unique lake trout on that light float. I don't want to call it a light float fishing setup, but I mean 16 pounds to land a almost 40-pound fish. It's light compared to that fish. Took us around 10 minutes to land it probably. Ooh, there we go. Aw, man. Had a strike right there. Couldn't quite hook it, but we know that they're still biting. They might be a little bit spooked from all the action that's been happening. The other fish, but I don't know if that's actually a game mechanic in this. If fish get spooked, if there's a lot of stuff going on in that location. If you guys know, leave a comment. But yeah, let's see, what is the peak time? Oh, we're exactly in the peak time. In the Triple the Trout tournament, let's see, where'd it go? These are all finished. Where's the, it's not showing up right now. Maybe Triple Trout. Hmm. This is the one that happened yesterday, I believe. I won the one was it last week? I don't know. But I don't know. There's yeah, it's not showing up the one that's in 10 hours. I don't know. Yeah, you guys can see it on the right side of the screen. It shows registration opens in 10 hours. Maybe 10 hours, that's when it'll be available to look at. But Triple the Trout here, it's a great tournament. But yeah. So let's see. I don't know. Hopefully, fish didn't take that while we were in the menu. That bobber, but I don't know. Hang on 1 second. And I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see. Now I don't know how long I'm gonna keep streaming. I will definitely, well, I won't say definitely, but I will most likely stream again tonight. So be sure to check again tonight, see if I'm streaming, or turn on the notifications if you'd like. It's a great way to see exactly when I'm streaming. But yeah, I'm gonna recast this out here. Man, I gotta say, guys, this is taking a while. I've been playing this game. Now, I haven't been playing it a ton since when I first downloaded it, but I can tell you that I've been playing it long enough to know that there's a little too much grinding. The developers obviously aren't watching this, but I mean, if a developer happens to see this, please, you know, like, tweak your game just a little bit. That way, when people start playing this, it'll keep them hooked on the game instead of having to just grind for hours and hours to get, you know, something. Still though, it's a great game. Again, I haven't played Fishing Simulator, I think that's what it's called, or Fishing Sim World. I know lots of people who play Fishing Planet also play that. I personally have never played it, but I know you do get a boat like off the start or something like that, which would be really nice if we got like a little rowboat, or, you know, just a small little kayak in this off the start. Ooh, missed that fish. But instead of, you know, just starting off with basically nothing. Now, after I go to Michigan and get past there, I'm hoping to go to the San Joaquin Delta, California. That I'm looking forward to fishing at, because there's so many different types of species. There's striped bass, largemouth. I don't know about smallmouth, but there's, let's see, I know there's salmon, steelhead, sturgeon. I don't know if there's catfish. I think there's catfish there. But I do know, I know there's panfish too, like bluegill, sunfish, all that. There's lots of different species there, and I'm hoping to get there somewhat soonish. But again, it's gonna be another grind. I've come very close to buying the Daredevil motorboat pack. I can't afford to right now, but I mean, it's a good pack. Another lake trout, nice, nice. If you're enjoying the stream, please be sure to leave a like if you see fit, and share this stream with your friends, please, if they play this game and they're just looking for something to do, or, you know, like, find some tips. Please share my channel with them and this stream. It helps out a ton. Looks like the fishing's kind of cooling down. We haven't had a fish on the float rod in a while. And I've only had a little lake trout on this rod. So I might skip to pike fishing, you know? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna end this stream and go after some pike. I will stream that as well. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna take a break, and then I'll be back in maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and go after some pike. But thank you for tuning into this stream, and I will see you later.